Your first time here?
Yeah, thanks, Sean. It's been a long time since I've been in Pretoria. Are we in Pretoria? We're on the outskirts of Pretoria, right?
Yeah, we're in Pretoria, and this is the breeding ground of lots of new little Greg Minnows because there's some really cool trails which you're going to enjoy later.
Yeah, that's cool. I think the last time I rode in Pretoria was Fountains or maybe Monuments,
Mountains,
Fort
yeah,
Klapperkop,
yeah, yeah,
one of those. So it's good to come back.
yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, good to have you chatting to us again. What is your association with Devil's Peak?
I'd quite enjoy a beer. So there was no better drink sponsor than to have a beer sponsor, and it's worked out really well. And being able to come back to South Africa and get to ride with everyone. I hardly do any racing in South Africa, so it's really cool to have a link to a South African brand, and be able to come to these rides and enjoy some drinks after. It's always a good fun and a good time.
Awesome. And you said you finished with World Cup racing, but not racing. So, are there any races that you got your eye on that you've been keen to do for a while?
Yeah, so no more World Cups, but I still do the US Open, maybe some South African nationals or enduros, mega avalanche. There's events that I've like missed out on. Some popular races that we too focused on World Cups and we can't get to do it. So it would be nice to go link back up and kind of do these maybe mass participation events and kind of enjoy mountain biking a bit.
And do you think that your singular focus on World Cup racing is not? There's a lot of young riders that kind of do World Cup racing and some of the slope style or the gravity or the hardcore gravity like hardline. Do you think that affects their success potential in the World Cup circuit?
Oh, for sure. I think the World Cup's the field's so packed and stacked right now. You need to focus on it. I mean, we adjusted things probably in the early 2000s when we used to race four cross and mix that with downhill, and we kind of all had to focus into downhill. It's what it is, and you can't have the distraction of some kind of other event interrupting training or anything else. So on one side, it's you don't get to enjoy mountain biking to what mountain biking can give you, but on the same side, you're racing, so you need to put everything into it.
You've obviously left the Norco team as a racer. Have you been replaced by another racer?
Yeah, I have. I've chosen a pretty good team. I feel like we ended up with a really strong team. We've moved to 6 riders, and I think we're going to give the bigger teams a run for their money.
Cool. And as obviously you're going to have the same World Cup pressure and schedule as you've had for many years, but in a different role as team boss. What are you looking forward to most about that role?
Well, it's downhill racing is exciting, and I've only got to experience a few races where I've been injured and been sidelined, and that's only been 2 races. So it's not like I've had a great lengthy period off the bike, but it's going to be really nice watching the racing and just being there, relaxing, enjoying the venues. We get shipped in, we straight into training and getting prepared for the race, and then straight out the race we have a big party and then back home. And so now we can kind of ease into it, enjoy the area, enjoy the region, and watch some good racing. It's exciting. So I'm looking forward to enjoying the World Cups a bit more.
Cool. And today at this beer ride, and obviously at the others, there's hundreds of youngsters that are hoping to one day be someone similar to Greg Minnaar. What one piece of advice do you think you can give them that'll help them along their way?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier about can you if you want to compete and do other events, you need to focus on one of them. The sport's too professional now and focus. So yeah, line up everything to that one discipline that you want to do well in. But it's been a great tour. I mean, Cape Town last week was great with Stellenbosch. It looks like a big turnout here today, and just to come back up and ride with South Africans, and I enjoy it, and it's something that I've missed through a big period of my career. I haven't been to many races, so it's great. So yeah, thanks to Devil's Peak for setting this all up, whilst this would probably never happen.
Now, a personal question: can Jeff and Jackie expect a grandkid another grandkid in the near future?
I'm sure at some point, yeah. Jeff and Jackie, well, Jeff's actually flip. I thought, at 79 years old, he'd be just enjoying life, but he's got back into comrades and sorting things out there. So yeah, I think he's a bit sidetracked now. Maybe give me a bit of breathing space, which is nice.
And if you were to become a dad to a boy or a girl, would you recommend or encourage them to do gravity racing? And if so, if not, why not?
I was never pushed into any racing. I chose to race motocross when I was young, and then moved into mountain bikes and mowing. And I would never ever force it on anyone. I don't think I could force it on my own kids, but I'd definitely be supportive if they did. But I think I might be a neurotic father, just nervous of kids getting. I hate seeing people crash, and in mountain biking you crash a lot, and I can't see teammates and stuff when I see them about to have a big one. It's not a good feeling. So I'm sure as a father it's going to be twice as bad. But hey, it is what it is. I think my wife handles it a bit better.
The gravity scene in South Africa is growing slowly, but what do you think can help accelerate the growth and expansion in this country?
Yeah, I think the enduro has been really good for gravity, and as well as the organisation. So I think if we continue to push into enduro, you'll see guys coming up through the ranks and then being able to decide whether to go down or stay in enduro.
And you mentioned beer earlier. You like a good beer. Are gravity racers these days quite specific about their nutrition?
Yeah, it's unfortunately changed. Well, a bit of both. When I started racing, things were a lot different. But nowadays, there's only a select few that still enjoy a good beer after a race. Most of the time, it's early night for the guys. It's pretty serious right now.
And obviously, a few changes coming to the World Cup racing next year. What do you think of that? Are you excited about it? Do you think there's positives, negatives?
Yeah, there'll definitely be a few negatives, and I hope mainly more positives. It's going to make the pit area a little bit more professional, which I think is needed. And when you're racing a World Cup with like 240 riders, it's really disruptive in training and really hard to manage. So I think they needed to cut the field. So yeah, we'll see. I think it's going to be more positive. I don't see many negatives in it, but yeah, it's the same for everyone, and we've had to make some adjustments, but so far so good.
Cool, Greg. Well, thanks for your time, and enjoy the ride at Wolwespruit.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Thank you.